Yeah.
There are some things that I question about the owner of Monster for sure. There is.
I don't want to put you on the spot because you work for Coca-Cola. I hope I'm not
Oh
making
no!
this.
I mean, we Monster is its own entity. We just distribute for them. They use
I,
they use Coca-Cola to distribute for them, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, we've heard of that for. I mean, it's one of the early things I've heard many years ago. I probably heard about it like 7 or 8 years ago. But not to mention it has a cross on the O, and every time you drink it, the cross is upside down and on the Monster logo. And
hang on. Wait. What are you supposed to do?
yeah, look at the word Monster. You see it? Let me see. Show me the can. You see? Yeah. So see the O right there. There's a cross right there. You see it?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So every time you drink it, you got an upside down cross, and they bring that up quite a bit. And I don't know personally. He's never, or the owner's never made like a public declaration of his religious beliefs, but he does often put stuff in his. Oh, there's weird. There's like someone working on construction outside. You can hear the. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of weird symbols that I don't feel comfortable with, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, who knows, we'll see. But I think if people knew how much a weird symbolism is on their household items, they probably would have nothing in their house. You get me? Because it's just,
Yeah.
there's a lot of ties to ancient stuff. And we're tied to this unseen realm, man. So either intentionally or unintentionally, I think we're surrounded by the remnants of that culture, both pagan and Christian. You get me? So
Yeah. I mean, here's an interesting one to leave you with, though. This is one that kind of changed my perspective a little bit. The Right now I'm finishing my second book on the early church accounts of the Gospels and the early historians who wrote on Christ, and the two earliest versions of 666 actually don't say 666, they say 616, I believe. So I'm not sure where 666 came from. It might have been the original, and those might be maybe perhaps may have been written down inappropriate or improperly, and perhaps those are the ones that existed still. But 616 seems to be the number that shows up going back to like the 2nd century. So it's
as
pretty
far
interesting.
as scripture is concerned,
Yeah.
oh, that is interesting. I know in numerology, one wouldn't count; it'd just still be 66, 0.66. So it could still stand the same, just because the whole idea is, what is it, a third? 0.6? Because that's a third, right? Yeah, that's 1/3. You tell me, Mr. Chemistry. Yeah, I got it wrong. I don't know, but the whole point is like there's like we're divided in the human body is like a third this, a third that. There's like a whole thing they tried to do about 666. In my opinion, I know I see it everywhere, and in the occult, it's definitely an important number. So when I talk about it on the show, people might think I give it too much importance, but I personally, it doesn't really matter to me because it's not an important thing, other than I see it a lot in movies, and I see it a lot hidden all over the place. So I bring it up because they believe it means something else, and so they want to kind of give it more. I want to bring that to light just so people understand that these people, because they believe in that, you'll see it often in your movies in the background all the time. I just saw Jack Reacher, which has nothing to do with a lot the occult, you might say, but there's a lot of scenes with the 666 on it, and there's a lot of weird things going on that if you pay attention, you can kind of see that the movie is about manipulation of information and things happening in secret along with the government and things like that. So I don't know, some shady stuff, but it's a cool movie, but there's just always a little weird connection in the background.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. I think believers shouldn't be utterly focused on that, but maybe it's an interesting thing to consider. I had heard that it's 6, the number of man or incompletion, occurring 3 times. So a couple of interpretations would be man trying to become God, or man acting in place of God.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just I don't really think about it a lot, but
right. No, yeah, that's funny. But see, that's the thing. This conversation started literally because of a can of Monster. So again, the more information the more you kind of know that you could be in the midst. You're really in the midst of a war, man. You're surrounded by it, whether you knowingly or unknowingly, and we have to know what's going on. That's why this show exists. The more information you know, I believe, the better we can equip people who are believers to fight back if necessary to defend the faith. You get me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. All right, stick with me. Aleko. These people, as always, listen to some tunes real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. Aleko, you're still with me there, right?
I am.
All right, cool. Now, for the folks that don't know who you might be, we had you on before. It was a great conversation. If they want to know more about you, they should go back to that episode and kind of hear your story. Your conversion to Christ is a very amazing story. And, you know, the things that kind of God made it very, very obvious to you that he wanted to use you. And I think that's a great story over there. But if they want to get a hold of your show, your podcast, where can they get a hold of you?
Sure. It is the Intelligent Design Collective podcast, or IDC podcast. It's anywhere you can find podcasts will be there. And also the Pillars of Intelligent Design audiobook is on Audible and Google Play audiobooks. And I'll have another book coming out, God allowing, in the next few months. Right now, we're just looking for a publisher. It's called What We Saw, and it's more or less a compilation of all of the historical accounts of the Christ, everything ranging from the Romans, the Jews, the Greeks, to even potentially China, with King Guangwu of the latter Han Dynasty, who witnessed the darkness at the time of the crucifixion. So yeah, please check that out when it comes out, hopefully in a few months here.
That sounds like a good time over there. Have you read the books by Brian Godawa?
No, I haven't.
He has a book that really connects China to Israel, to the ancient Hebrew world, and it talks about how they were more monotheistic and more, you can say, almost Hebrew-like, until they had a conversation with a dragon creature, and it kind of changed their whole culture into a different direction. So I highly recommend that Brian Godawa book. I'll send you what the name of that book is. Off the top of my head, it escapes me, but as soon as I remember, I'll send it over.
Is it Brian Godawa? Okay, yeah, I'll look for that. That's quite interesting. I'm just making a note of that so I can look. So great,
awesome. Well, folks, as always, thank you for sticking around, and thank you for joining us today. Go rate us over there. It really helps spread the fire, as we like to say around here, the algorithms. If you want to get a hold of me, firetheftradio.com, or at firetheftradio@gmail.com, through Facebook, through Instagram, all Fire Theft Radio, folks. Thanks again, and as always, don't forget to spread the fire. Later, folks.